Hello, welcome to Mad Dodge Productions. I am the Mad Libertarian. I'm here with Wolfshot at the moment, hopefully some more guests. And we're going to talk about some random redneck shit. How's it going, Wolfshot? Oh, nothing? So I have to carry it on for a minute? Alright.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I totally forgot I was muted. Hey man, I'm here. I'm Wolfshot. I'm here to fuck shit up. I'm a crazed country rebel and I'm drifting state to state. In the great words of Hank the Third, here with my buddy Mad Dog. I know his name is Mad Dodge, but I call him Mad Dog. If you don't like, you can kiss my country ass.
It's all good. But we were talking about gun rights earlier on Ogre's stream. I don't really want to get much into that. Do you have a topic you want to start out with there, Wolfshot?
How about censorship and fucking music, man?
Well, that's an easy one. It's bullshit, and they should knock it off.
Like, have you ever heard of Johnny Rebel?
Of course.
So what do you? Okay, so what are your feelings on that?
Well, just like some of the David Allan Coe shit, it's like really racist, and I've heard it, and like it's got a good tune to it, but it's still racist. I don't necessarily support it. But if you're talking about like Second South Carolina String Band, I'm a good old rebel, something that was written during the Civil War, then I'm not going to argue with it. But if you got a song that's nigger every other word, that shit ain't right. Come on, it's the modern day. Let's move on a little bit.
Yeah, but what if like it's free speech, isn't it?
Oh, of course. They can say anything they want. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not saying that I agree with it either. But it is a platform for free speech. I mean, music has been a platform for free speech. God only knows how long. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go back to like bluegrass and old style blues like Muddy Waters. I'm a howling wolf. You know.
Oh, absolutely. Charlie Daniels Band, Waylon Jennings had some Confederate tunes. Yeah, you won't get me arguing against that shit. But when David Allan Coe says there's a nigga in the woodpile, I need to shoot him, we're a little beyond that, all right?
No, I absolutely agree with you. It's like but then again, there's white power music like Screwdriver. He's a big, he's big. He's like the only one I really know of. I don't listen to his music because fuck Nazis,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
do
no,
know of him.
I've never heard of that guy. I listen to Rebel Son, John D. Hale Band, anything Confederate I'll listen to, but that's not necessarily racist. There is a distinct difference that people don't want to comprehend.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just saying that I believe that everyone should have a platform regardless of if I agree with it or disagree with it.
Absolutely, 100%. Just like I was talking about gun rights, and nobody should be registered, and everybody should have a gun. Now, there's going to be some idiots out there, all right? I get it, you're a cop, so you're even more sensitive to this shit. But the good people outweigh the idiots,
No, I
and that would be
absolutely
a
agree.
libertarian. Yeah, that would be a libertarian society. I mean, an armed society is a polite society. You're not going to rob me if I have a fucking 38 special on my hip, are you? And if you are, you're fucking stupid.
I absolutely agree with you. Um, when it comes, I'm kind of on the fence with it because, like I said earlier, I've seen my fair share of fuckery, especially when it comes to uh, people not having weapons, but those aren't law-abiding citizens either. Those are the dregs of society who think they can intimidate by force. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but they're going to do that whether it's legal or not because they always. So if the legal citizens are able to own guns with no anything, like I'm seriously, I'm against background checks. Fuck it. I will go the far libertarian. I will stand that ground
I know you
because
will.
our ancestors never did background checks. Our ancestors, they handed their guns down from one. I mean, really. So I don't want you to check my name. Fuck off.
Well, the thing with you got to understand, our founding fathers were disciplined. It all comes back to discipline. You know, they were hunting and fishing and using muskets and shit when they were knee high to a grasshopper. They knew how to till the fields, they knew how to do everything that they were supposed to do. Today, we don't have that. We do not fucking have that. And that is my biggest point in contention is that people are too fucking stupid right now to actually, you know how hard it is to self-discipline, to actually sit down and go through the motions of training, being educated, and listening to your elders. That's another thing that really, grinds my fucking gears.
Well, like I said earlier on Ogre's stream, I was 8 when I shot my first gun. It was an AR-15. My son, he was 9 when he shot his first. It was a 22. I wanted to be easy on him. I teach my children. I have 6 kids. And I teach them gun safety. And even if they're not old enough to shoot, they're there with us when we go up to the gravel pit and go shoot. I live in the middle of the fucking Cascades. I go right up the road and shoot. It's not a big deal. And for the fact that some people want to tell me I have to get a fucking class and I have to register my guns, I've been shooting guns since I was 8. You register yours. I'm good.
I will disagree with you there. I believe that everyone should go through firearms safety. Period.
I did. My family taught me firearm safety.
Sorry, had to sneeze there. I mean, my daddy
I
taught
have a
me.
baby crying in the background, so sorry.
Well, my daddy taught me at a very young age to respect firearms, and he taught me how to use it. But when I went for my CCW before I entered law enforcement, I still had to get a background check, and I still had to take a course to make sure, hey, you know what each part of the gun is, how to take it apart, how to clean it, how to load it, what load it is, and what the right gun is for you. I mean, I
Okay.
can't.
All right. So taking that into consideration, all right, let me tell you a story. I lived in a small town, and you know what? I don't really care. It's called Junction City, Oregon. It's about 20 miles away from Eugene. All right. We have a cop named Officer Bonner. He was a dick. He fucked with us high schoolers because he was a school cop, and then he graduated up to, I don't know, patrol. He couldn't make detective. He was a douchebag. Now, that being said, this man was taught by your classes. He was taught by the academy, and he was a cop for 10 years. Do you know what he did? Out his police issue, not a revolver. I think it was a 9mm.
I was about to say it was probably a Glock, dude.
Yeah, no, he cleaned it out and he didn't empty the chamber, ma'am. He shot himself in the hand. So if our own police force can't abide by the simple rules, what makes you think the citizens should take this class? That man was a cop and still is. He is still a cop.
Yeah, but you can't lump every fucking retard into. You can't generalize a statement like that, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we were
No,
taught
because he was a
to empty
police
the.
officer, and he still is. And he had this badass Camaro police car. He got it taken away. You know why? He was street racing. So these cops are citizens. All right,
Not all.
we can't elevate them to the point where they get to dictate the rules to us.
Well, I'm not talking about cops.
And I'll let you continue.
I'm not talking about cops and what they should do, they should be able to do. What I'm talking about is the fact that he didn't have the discipline to check the clip and pop out that single round that was in the chamber. That's where he went wrong. And the fact that he, was a douchebag. Some of us do not deserve to be cops. Period. Do I think there's police brutality? Absolutely. But I respect police officers to a point. To a point. I'm going to say it one more time. To a fucking point. Because I know I'm going to get some bitch on here about bitching at me about blue lives and black lives and fuck your mom,
Not me. I did sell weed in Oregon before it was illegal.
Good for you,
or
dude.
before it was legal.
That's
and
awesome.
I made a little bit of money, not much. But the fact is, it's just a harmless plant. And I have an argument with the cops when it comes to harmless drug laws. When it comes to non-violent criminal offenders, as they call them.
Yeah,
that's my argument.
I don't have a fucking problem. I do not have a problem with non-violent pot smoking kids. I don't give a shit. Guess what I used to do when I was a kid? Smoke a whole bunch of pot. And 99% of a cop's job is discretion. Is at his discretion. Period.
Yeah, ate it. I had a cop. He stopped me and my buddy, and we had our pockets full of beer, right? And we're like 17. And he pats us down. He's like, dude, we're like, yeah, we'll go home. He's like, go the fuck home. That's a small town cop. But you don't get that shit in LA. You know what I mean? They'll pat you down. They'll be like, is that a gun? Right?
Well, LA is terrible. We know that, right?
Well, okay, Richmond, Virginia, or any other big city in Virginia. I mean, that any big city.
I would
prefer a small town.
I would prefer to be in Richmond than Norfolk. That's just me.
And I might take you up on that. You want to take me on a Civil War tour?
Fuck yeah,
I'll show
dude.
up at your house. Keep fucking around.
Do it. Fuck it, man. I mean, I love showing history. I'm proud to be a Virginian. I love my history. So, I mean, come on down, dude. I'm all about it. But it all goes back to teaching them young. Really. You got it, like when MC was talking about like when they're 17, 18 or so. No, it wasn't MC. Someone said something about JROTC mandatory. And I'm like, nah, dude, that's too late.
Yeah. And I freaked out on that. I was like, hell the fuck no.
Yeah, I'm not.
It was Nacho. Maybe not Nacho. No.
No, it was the finer print, I think.
Yep, that's who it was. There's one viewer in our room. Let's see if we throw this out on Twitter again, if we can get anybody else in here. Hey, MC, where you at, bitch?
Is MC in the chat?
I don't think so. I'm just throwing that out there. If I call people names, they might come on just to call me a cunt. It could work.
Fucking A, right? I don't know if
I am happy. Like, I am happy to be on Ogre's stream because he has a bigger audience than me. That's why I wanted to go on Beer Barians also. But
yeah,
just, I got spread my word. I also.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man. Oh, I also reached out to a really tiny YouTuber. He's called the Libertarian. and he only has like 13 subs. I was like, dude, come on a live stream with me. Maybe you'll gain a few. If not, we can have a good talk.
Bring his
And
ass
so,
on, dude.
yeah, no, he said after July 5th. So
Oh, that's cool.
sometime in July, I'm going to have him on. Trying to get more libertarians on here, you know, spread the good word.
You sound like you're in a fucking cult.
Well, a third party kind of is a cult, right? The first two are a cult, definitely. The Republicans and Democrats, they're totally linked. Don't give me that shit. They are. You got a few people, Justin Amash, Rand Paul Way, but all linked together, man. They're all going towards the center. And their center is far to the freedom.
Like,
so you have totalitarianism on one side and you have freedom on the other.
Totalitarianism.
There you go. You said it correctly. Nice. I drink a little bit of beer. Fuck off.
Hey, I'm high as a kite, but whatever. Dude,
Viewers,
like,
nice.
I know that Republican and Democrat, they're two sides of the same coin. I look at it this way. It's like an eagle, right? Well, you've got the right wing, you got the left wing. If neither one are working in tandem together, the bird's gonna fucking freak out and crash and burn. Now, with third parties,
but they are working. But they are working together, though, Miss.
Like, no.
They are. They're moving the pendulum to.
Don't call me Miss, though.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I would greatly appreciate it if you didn't do that. But that's.
I will never do that again.
I mean, it's not a fucking faggot ass pronoun thing. It's just don't do that. It makes me sound old. Like with libertarians and the Green Party and independents, I think they bolster that bird. You know what I'm saying? Like without them, the bird would still suck. You know what I mean? And they're not working in tandem to the same for the same end goal. They're working apart from each other because they need to make their fan base happy.
But if you tear down the political spectrum to certain classes and you break it down, you have more of a chance for a third party to succeed, not secede. But you know what I mean? Like, if you divide the Democrat Party between the Libertarians, and then you divide the Republican Party between the Libertarians and them, then you have the Libertarians of the other parties coming together. You might win. It's a good possibility.
We got someone in the chat. The Moon Dog. What's going on, bud?
Drop the link to him. I follow him on Twitter. He's pretty cool, I think. Or she. I might not be using the pronoun right.
Oh, you got to give me a wrench, bro.
Oh shit. All right, let me do that. I thought I did last time. Let's see.
Alrighty.
Wenched. I mean wrenched. Sorry.
There you go. I'm definitely wenched. Now you good, man? You good?
Well, I got a good story. I looked at my best friend's girlfriend one time, right? I was like, "Hey, wench, fetch me a beer." And I seriously thought she was going to slap me. Instead, she went to the fridge and got me a beer. So, does that mean feminism has failed?
No, man. And who's this, dude?
It must be a commie. I see Chinese writing. Hello, sir. Or ma'am. You gonna talk, or you just gonna sit there with your blue image and Chinese writing? And if you're Tigerson, fuck off. No, I'm kidding. I like Tigerson. I'm just joking.
You don't talk, do you?
Oh, he's pretty cool. Just like
No, this
Clerical
dude.
Carousel. Very cool. I don't know.
Kick his ass.
Oh, I'm not gonna kick anybody. I'm for free
There you
speech.
go. Goodbye.
Kicked himself, huh?
Well, he wasn't fucking saying nothing.
Throw this out on Twitter again, Wolfshot. Let's see if we can get somebody else in here.
Do you want me to tweet the Hangouts or do you want me to tweet the YouTube?
You could tweet the Hangouts, I guess. I'm gonna hit up Review. It's 11:30 in Michigan. He might still be up, so I'll hit him up real quick.
Yeah, dude, go for it.
All right, I don't want too much dead air. So, yeah, you really think registration on guns is okay? You think that's a good idea?
I'm indifferent. Honestly.
That's kind of an issue that's hard to be indifferent on, though. I mean, either you're for it or you're against it, really. And as a ex-police officer, I would think you would have a strong opinion on it. I don't want to push though. As always, if I go beyond the line, tell me to fuck off.
My experience as a police as law enforcement, I will say, it made it okay. So there's an aspect of the most dangerous time for a police officer is during a traffic stop, right? So what we do is we run the plates, and if we get a ding from the NCR or VCN, it usually means they have either a concealed carry, warrants, unlawful use of a firearm, etc. And with the CCW, we can tell the serial number, or not the serial number, geez. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, but I've been on the other side of that.
You keep roboting, bro.
All right, I'll drop out and come back real quick. I'll be right back. Is that better, or do I have to go out all the way?
You're gonna have to go out all the way, bro. This is a lot of fun.
All right, how about that?
That's a little bit better.
All right, so I went through a felony stop in Nevada, and I laid face down in the ground for about 3 hours just because my friend borrowed a car and they didn't believe him. So, I mean, is that acceptable? Is that acceptable use of force? I was released 2 days later, no charges filed, by the way.
Was what acceptable?
The fact that I had to sit there face down in Nevada on the ground when it was about 30 degrees because it was October, for absolutely no reason other than my best friend was given a car. And his sister was convinced to report it stolen. That's what happened. I was released 2 days later. Nothing ever happened since. I mean, is that acceptable?
The issue I have, a lot of police officers like to blanket statement things. I have to be there. I have to assess the situation for myself. Traffic stops, like I said, are probably the most dangerous time for a police officer. We're trained to be vigilant, like to the max when we're stopping a civilian. I've never drawn my gun ever. I've never had a weapon drawn on me, or a firearm, let's say, on me. I don't believe stop and frisk is constitutional. I don't believe what they do to sovereign citizens is legal. There's a lot of things I don't agree with the way we militarize the police force. That's another thing. We don't do community policing anymore. We do reactive policing. Way back in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s, we would do community policing or proactive policing. Now it's just a knee-jerk reaction. And I think, in my opinion, we need to go back to community policing, and police officers need to actually go out into these neighborhoods and be a part of the community as opposed to a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, but sometimes these small town cops, they really get a hair up their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really want to prove a point. They think they're better and bigger than they really are. Like, for instance, I had my kids at a pizza place for a birthday party. And my son, I think he was 9 at the time, was acting up. So I took him outside and I had him look at the wall as a timeout, right? And I'm there dressing him down a little bit, telling him what he did wrong. We leave and we walk down the road. 2 blocks later, the local cop is there trying to put my hands behind my back and cuff me. I stiffened up. I wouldn't let him do it. And he backed off. I got his badge number and nothing ever happened. He not only threatened to call DHS, but he called me a piece of shit.
Finally
and everything else right in front of my kids, man. Like, this cop had... I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't touch my kid. All I did is I took him outside, and I had... Like, how is these fucking cops? I can't... It's ridiculous.
You're roboting out a bit. I couldn't catch the end parts of what you were saying.
Hola.
All right.
Buttercup and Moondog. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'll have myself on mute because I have an AC really right close to me.
Hey, Keck, what's going on,
you won't
bro?
Follow me on Twitter, but you'll come on my channel? I'm kidding.
What?
Follow me on Twitter anymore.
Yes, I do.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure I do. Anyway, I'm sub to you, so...
you.
All right,
Do you
Moondog.
have-
I'm Wolfshot, and I'm mostly here to fuck shit up. This is I invited Kekistani. He's relatively new to the community. I think maybe I don't know. I could be fucking wrong.
I've been here since the 20th of June last year.
Well, I've never. I know I'm such
Purple
a
hair.
I'm such a fucking asshole. I know. Guy, fuck me, right?
Just because
Yeah.
nobody loves me doesn't mean that I'm nobody.
That's longer than me. I've been here since December 29th of last year, I think. That's about
I
it.
follow you.
I'm the newest guy then.
I'm a giant asshole. I apologize, Kek.
It's fine. It's fine. Nobody even knew who I was until Suit mirrored me originally, so.
You're
I
smarter
want a
than the average.
Kekistani flag, though. I need to hang that outside my house. So
It
if you got a
took,
good
like-
website, put it
It took like a
inside.
month to arrive, so I wouldn't recommend where I got it from.
China.
Yeah.
Wish.
Don't get it wet. That's all I have to say.
So
Yeah,
we're,
I leave all my flags inside.
we're like talking about redneck shit and firearms and weapons policies.
Oh shit, let me get my rebel flag.
Hey man, I got it tattooed on my arm.
I have my Confederate flag all folded up into the closet.
You hide yours in the closet. I got one in my bed. Well, I got two in my bedroom, and I have the stars and bars outside my house. They all think it's the Continental flag. It's okay.
Is the Stars and Bars the first Confederacy flag?
That
Or
is
is-
right, sir.
Alright.
Yep.
Yeah, because after the Charleston shooting, where I live is really a bunch of hillbilly nation, and it was Confederate flag left and right, and I was like, I don't want to be recognized with these hillbillies, so I just took mine down, folded it up, and put it away.
Oh, it's a good thing you're in the company of a white trash hillbilly. Just throwing that out there.
Where I live, if you hear the banjo, you turn around and go back where you came from.
Well, this ain't
That is
deliverance.
solid advice.
It's
Because
deliverance.
Deliverance is almost a true story where I live.
Where do you live?
I'm so sorry.
I'm just going to say, I'm going to live in the mountains of Appalachia. Appalachian
Oh.
Mountains, in there. Where there's moonshiners and there's banjo playing.
Got it.
What is that? Kentucky?
Close, but not Kentucky.
American made in Tennessee
So West
by the
Virginia.
grace of God.
Got it.
Well, West Virginia, they shouldn't be flying any rebel flags up there, really, unless they're supporting Mosby's troops. Sorry, too much history. My bad.
The fuck you talking about, West Virginia, boy?
I'm talking about the Cumberland Gap, and West Virginia left the Confederacy for the Union, and the only thing that kept them in was Mosby's ghost, Mosby's troops.
I honestly don't give a fuck where you fly your rebel flag.
Yeah, I'm flying mine in Canada.
Oh, I live in Oregon. You should see it. Up here in the Cascades, there's a rebel flag all over the place. It's like you guys were like Yanks. Don't you know that? Like Louisiana troop out the Oregon Senator in the Civil War, and there's still people up here flying the rebel flag. I'm cool with that.
I fly the American flag.
Silence. My bad. All right. All right, let's move on. So, other than guns, think about freedom of speech. Should people like John threaten the president?
Threaten the
people-
pres-
Whoa.
Okay, all I hear is should bring.
And you first, just because
That
you
turns
didn't
me
say
on,
it.
Buttercup.
What?
I said that turns me on when you make that noise.
Oh, really?
I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding.
Bro, Probably good you said you were kidding, or I was
I
going to
lost
do that like
connection.
6 or 7 times just to really fuck with everyone watching.
Whee! Autistic screeching. All right, so I think what Mad Dog was trying to say is Johnny Depp and threatening to assassinate Donald Trump.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference between
Throw his ass in
threats
prison and throw away the
free-
key.
All right, let's do one at a time. All right,
Okay.
go ahead, Keck.
Well, when you're threatening to harm somebody, that's basically you're not using your free speech at this point. You're actively going out of your way to make people feel threatened, and unlike doing that with saying opinions that people feel threatened with, you're actually threatening harm upon someone, and that's not free speech.
He
That's
never
just-
said he was going to shoot Donald Trump in the back of the head. He never said that. It was free speech.
Well, I hear assassination. I didn't know the exact words that he said because I honestly don't give a shit. But all I hear is threats of assassination.
Okay,
What he-
okay.
What he
So,
said
like-
was, he said,
Go ahead, Wolfshot. Sorry.
what he said was, he's like, when's the last time an actor assassinated a president?
Oh, that's different. That's completely fine in my book. Sure, it's a dick thing to say, but he has every right to say that.
I mean, I don't know what people are so up in arms about. It's not like we didn't know that Hollywood was totally liberal and hated the idea of Trump being president. So, I don't get what people are so freaked out about now because, celebrities are like, oh, I fucking hate Trump. Well, we knew
it's
that
not
already.
surprising.
We knew that already. A bunch of you threatened to move to Canada and then didn't do it because you realized they wouldn't take you.
I'm thankful they didn't.
I'm wondering why they threatened to move to Canada and not Mexico.
If Mexico's so great, then why don't they move there?
They're all about
Because
opening our
they know they
borders.
can't drink the water. They can't speak the language. They can't. I mean, their state is full of people who ran the fuck away from Mexico. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there.
They're righteous, rich assholes who have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Yay!
Righteous.
are
in
our
terms of
monkeys.
They feel they are.
I think free speech goes both ways. They can say whatever the fuck they want to say, but I have the absolute right to criticize, just like everyone else has the absolute right to criticize what they're saying.
Well, yeah, of
So-
course.
So it's like when the KKK came down my street one time and kept yelling the N-word. And I'm just standing there like, alrighty then, I don't like it. But I can't stop free speech. I can't. They have the right to do it.
Was there like, what, 5 of them? I mean, there's not really a KKK movement anymore. They're kind of dead.
Can you want to come? You want to come to my part? I mean, we have Volksfront. We have the KKK.
No,
Well, I
it's
wouldn't-
still very much alive.
Well,
But not as big as
Oregon
it
is
was.
Well,
Oregon
no,
is
of
a
course.
hotspot for white supremacy, like the stupid Nazis and shit. So I know hate is alive. But the Klan has pretty much died.
I will greatly disagree with you, sir. Because North Carolina, he had a huge KKK rally, like a spitting distance away from where I live.
How big
So,
is huge?
I mean,
Wolfshot, how big is
I don't know.
huge?
I didn't atta-
100 people? I mean,
I didn't attend.
you could have attended the counter rally. I mean, but that's not my point. My point is, how big is huge? Because
They used
really,
to be huge back in the day.
Well, yeah, they used to be like 30,
yeah, and even
50,000
the
people.
Southern Poverty Law Center, which I don't really like, the Southern Poverty Law Center
Yeah, I know. There's like
but-
1,000 of them.
in the whole country. Like, that's it.
I know, but it's still, you can't discount it because of numbers. I mean, we had less than 3, 4 people fucking go into the Twin Towers. I mean, can't exactly argue with that. But, however, I don't plan to go to a clan rally and count how many fucking asshole Grandmaster Wizard D&D bullshit that's there, you know what I'm saying? But I do know that a neo-Nazi group called Volksfront is very much active in the Norfolk area. And I saw it as a law enforcement officer. And they were just walking down the street screaming, gas the Jews, I hate the N-words, and I hate this, that, and the other thing, and blah, 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 and what are you going to do? You can't do jack shit unless there's violence.
But they don't start the violence.
Well, there wasn't any. That's what I was about to say. There wasn't any.
Yeah, they know how to exercise their free speech with speech only.
Unless some random black guy they're yelling the N-word to decides to, punch him in the face, and then that's a problem.
Then it's self-defense.
No, I mean the black guy punching the Nazi in the face, that's wrong.
Yeah, just because they have an extremely separate and vocal
Alright,
opinion doesn't mean you have the right to harm them.
Yeah, your free speech ends when your fist comes towards my face.
Yeah, and there's not any real Nazis anyway.
Yeah, the last real Nazis are pretty much in their 80s and 90s right now.
Well, neo-Nazis,
Neo-Nazis or Klansmen, they're really not here anymore. What we have is Black Panthers and Antifa. Those are the real challenges.
Okay, Mad Dog, come on. You can't have one without the other.
I'm sure what he's saying is the Klan is not as big as it was, so you don't really hear a lot from them. I'm sure back in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s you hear a lot about the Klan, but now you don't even hear about them.
Well, maybe not necessarily the Klan, but like I said,
because it's gone.
The neo-Nazi, groups are still there and in not full force, but they still have their hooks in.
But they're not getting the same attention like they used to.
Yeah, because why would the media care about real problems that involve racism when they could focus on
the 2 scoops of ice cream Donald Trump got?
Mm-hmm.
Or the fact that he's going golfing, or the fact that, he farted the wrong way, or some fucking dumbass shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. The media is focusing on the absolute wrong fucking shit.
Well, it's profitable to hate Donald Trump.
I'm going to be honest. I don't much care for the man. I did not vote for him.
I didn't vote for him either.
I didn't vote for him either.
I voted independent. I mean, I can respect some of the things that he's doing.
Gary Johnson.
He was the only choice.
I voted Libertarian.
Mick Mullen seemed like a decent person.
Oh my god, a woman after my own heart. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
you knew that already.
I voted for McMullen as well, Keck.
Good.
I vote for Gary Johnson, but I'm happy with Trump being president.
I'm indifferent about him being president.
You voted for Gary Johnson. Would you, like me, been better suited with Austin Peterson? I liked Austin Peterson.
Oh, fuck. Austin Peterson is the shit.
Honestly, I don't believe Austin Peterson was on my ballot.
He wasn't on mine. I know Gary Johnson.
He ran. Yeah, he ran for the Libertarian presidential nomination. So when they got to the convention, Gary Johnson fucked him over. Yeah, I heard a lot of back dealings, and this is fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, the other thing is I think we all forget that they're politicians. regardless of what flag they fly under.
Yeah.
You know, I like what they do in England. I mean, Cabbage and I have had extensive talks. He votes none, and he votes for the individual. He doesn't vote for the party, he votes for the individual, which would be fucking great here, in my opinion.
That's what
Well-
everybody should do. Do the research on the individual who's running.
Yeah, not pander to a party. Because
Well,
I really don't have a party I ascribe to. There are issues I ascribe to.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well,
the
Cabbage
majority
is
of
kind of a
Americans
grumpy
don't fully
bastard, and he
support
does
the
what he wants to do, so that makes sense. But in England, it's a lot different than here. I mean, really.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue with that because of a constitutional, monarchy, plus parliament, plus their conservatives are like our classical liberals here, and their fucking leftists are like Looney Tunes leftists, like.
I wouldn't call
Communist.
their conservatives libertarians, which I call myself a classical liberal, and I'm a libertarian. So I wouldn't put their conservatives in the same camp as me. Maybe UKIP, maybe.
I would put the liberals there as classic liberals, classic liberalism. Classic liberalism is where, like I keep saying, you have the right to say what you want. Even though I don't agree with it, I'm going to defend to the death what you say. And that's it.
Or my right to say it. A better explanation. Yeah.
So, I mean, the whole party system in this country, I believe, is just corrupt as fuck.
It is.
Like, they're all out for themselves. Honestly, you look at every fucking politician and they're out for themselves. Period.
Miss
only
Buttercup,
truth
where do you
is-
stand?
Huh?
Where do you stand on all this, Miss Buttercup?
On what exactly? I'm sorry.
On libertarian, or are you a Trump supporter? Are you a Democrat? Where do you stand?
I voted libertarian. I'm an absolute staunch libertarian.
See, you should be following me on Twitter. What the fuck?
I went and saw that I wasn't, so I did refollow you.
Thank you, miss.
Yes, you are so welcome. But yeah, I would love to see a takedown from the ground up of our current government system and the current way that our country is run. I would love to see small government play a much more important role. I would love to see as little government involvement as absolutely possible with the way that we run our country.
What would you consider that? I would consider that local government. I would
Yes.
abolish the Department of Education and boot that back to local government. I would abolish the DEA. I would abolish a lot of people if I was president. Would you go that far, or would you stop a little bit and
I would have to say that I'm sorry, my phone keeps buzzing, and it's on my leg, and it's very distracting. Sorry. As far as that
I'd rather have a
goes,
buzzing phone than a phone that dies.
huh?
I'd rather have my phone buzz than a one that completely dies every 5 seconds.
Yeah. I think that the only things that we actually need to function as a country are a form of some sort of volunteer firefighters, volunteer police, you know, let people pay for schools, like kind of how they have to do for private schools.
Okay, so like me, you would eliminate the tax that goes to the department.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, before they started taxing us for everything, we still had roads, we still had schools, we still had this, that, and the other. They were, publicly funded. Like, you wanted to donate to the school, you had a bake sale and donated your money to the school. You didn't fucking get taxed to death to pay for everyone's children.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. Yeah. Anybody else got something?
Honestly, I would not mind if my taxes went to the children, as long as it goes actually for a good cause, like to make sure the music the music teacher is getting paid. Make sure the teacher's getting paid. The students are actually getting what they need. Unlike the high school that's near me, where the students have to bring their own toilet paper because the money's not that good.
What really needs to happen, in my opinion, is we need to reallocate where we're spending for taxes. And we need to cut off corporate welfare. But hey, I'm a dick. I don't know.
No, I mean, we need to reform everything from the ground up. The way that we handle where our money goes, the way that we handle who handles our money. And I really do think that our biggest problem as a country is we don't do things locally anymore. You have your city government or whatever, but your city government has to answer to your state, which has to answer to the country, et cetera, et cetera. And it just gets all muddled and messed up. And I mean, if you want to, let's say if I wanted to grow hemp in my backyard, I should fucking be allowed to do that. I'm an adult.
It always goes back to the pot with y'all.
Depends on what state you do that in.
It always goes back to the pot with y'all.
Well, it's just I don't smoke it or anything, but it should be my right as a human and an adult to make that decision. Do I want to drink unprocessed milk? I mean, that sounds gross, but if I want to drink it, I should be allowed to drink it. Do I want to grow a giant fucking pot plant in my backyard? If I want to, I should be allowed to do it, provided it's not harming anyone.
Well, right now, because of nullification, it depends on what state you're in. Here in my current state, we get 4 plants per household for every household. So I would like to see the DEA come into Oregon and raid every house. That would be entertaining.
Here in my state,
that would be a libertarian moment.
Here in my state, it's still illegal.
Well, you know what Sessions said. Donald Trump's appointed fuckstick. He wants to criminalize marijuana again.
Oh, Sessions could fuck himself right up the ass. I bet you he's the type of guy that's tapping his toe in the fucking bathroom stall, if you know what I mean.
Like fucking he there was a quote where he was like, "What if there was marijuana in every grocery store?" And there's a picture of the Simpsons like dancing around. And I think fucking all marijuana should be legal, recreational, medical,
Yeah, yeah.
all of it.
Oh
No,
my
that's
god, what
funny.
if there were a plant in every grocery store?
Good.
Motherfucker, shut up.
No, dude,
Let
seriously,
there
that's
be.
exactly what he
Put the
fucking.
marijuana right there by the lettuce for all
Put
I
it by
give
the
a fuck.
cilantro and really fuck with people's lives.
No, seriously, that's what he fucking said. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, God damn,
Have it with his cigarettes. That's the only way.
Oh my god, you guys, what if we put the marijuanas in every grocery store? Next to be tomatoes. What the hell?
Put it right next to the candy aisle.
Yeah,
Munchies.
candy.
Next to the junk
Fill it with the
aisle.
candy.
Now that's a market.
Next to the
That's a
Cheetos.
marketing
Next
strategy
to the
right there. dude.
Funyuns, baby.
Right there, yeah, right there between the Funyuns and the M&Ms. You're good.
No, seriously, it's like Colorado, like since they legalized it, like their profits, like their whole GDP has gone through the fucking roof.
Yeah, no, and it's not even about Colorado. Oregon's has grown more than Colorado's, and so is Washington. Like the whole West Coast is legal now. We're like Amsterdam.
So I don't understand why we can't. I mean, it's profitable, you know, we can do so much with it. It's not like it's fucking heroin.
Well, I would legalize all drugs, but we'll move on from that. With marijuana, they are taxing it, and they are making a shitload of money off of it. So they're not going to back off.
So you
if think the
would
federal
legalize
government-
crack cocaine?
Hey, cocaine was
Yeah.
actually legal at one point.
Well, a lot
Yeah,
everything.
I would legalize.
Didn't they used to put cocaine in like Coca-Cola, like soft drinks
Yeah.
and shit like that?
It wasn't
Yeah.
cocaine.
I mean,
It wasn't cocaine, it was the cacao leaf, yes.
yeah. I mean,
No, I would legalize all drugs. Everybody has a right to figure out what is good for them. And if you become addicted, then that's your fault.
Yeah. Until you walk in on the mother who hasn't fed their baby in 2 weeks because she needs to get her crack fix. Please.
Well, then she has to go to jail for child neglect. I mean, we have to have a society that values what we do as people. So if you fuck up, then you fuck up. Good, and you're a heroin addict, good for you. I don't give a shit.
You don't
like,
it's
give a
all
look
about
at
personal
cocaine.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what did the kid do? Nothing. Kid didn't do anything.
The
But
kid
it was
didn't do
born.
anything, but the mother absolutely should have been responsible enough to know that she had a problem and not have the child.
Or give the child to somebody more responsible. I mean,
I'm
we
all
gotta-
about
we gotta look at
I'm all about
self-responsibility.
abortion, so why the fuck not?
Yeah,
No, I'm not.
I am.
We know you're not, honey. It's okay.
Abortion, it depends on the case.
Oh fuck.
If it's
I-
a rape case, I
very,
support it. If it's not a
very-
rape case, I'm against it.
Very,
You know what,
very.
The only
few.
time
You're
you know
talking
what?
about incest and rape. That's what we're talking about with that.
Look,
Other than that,
here's the bottom line. There are 7 billion plus people on the face of this earth. We use 1.5 times our Earth's resources every single year. An abortion here or there is really not going to harm us as a species at this point. The only thing that's going to harm us is another black plague.
the Nazi Germany, hun, they were all for abortion. They're all for eugenics. So we're looking at a little bit of a gray area there.
Who the fuck
Buttercup.
is practicing
And I
eugenics
like you,
right
so I
now?
don't want to piss you off. But
What?
But who the fuck is practicing eugenics?
the Democrats, Planned Parenthood. Have
Oh,
you
stop
seen the
it.
video?
Oh, God, come on.
Fuck me right in the asshole.
Okay,
Show the
yes.
videos. Show
You know
the
what?
videos.
At the very beginning of Planned Parenthood's founding, yes, they were in low income mostly African American communities, but that's because the low-income, mostly African American communities had an incredibly high number of children being born to families that could not take care of them, had an incredibly high amount of
Welfare.
not such great stuff happening.
You want to talk about welfare? Let's talk about the corporations. Sorry.
Walmart.
Yeah. I'd rather tackle the corporate welfare and then leave the safety net.
The Democrats are not practicing eugenics.
For
I can assure you of that.
later.
Roboting. Such bad roboting. So much robot. Robot. All the robot.
Created Planned Parenthood.
What?
Created.
What?
What? Man, all right. Move on, Wolfshot. Go ahead.
No,
Get
I
another
can't.
topic.
No,
now
I
we
can't
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
We literally
All
can't
right,
hear
I'll
you.
exit and come back. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear him.
No,
Did
I
you hear
couldn't
him?
either. I totally couldn't either. That's why I kept laughing.
Yeah, none of us get here.
Oh, these topics. They're so push button, it's just fucking ridiculous.
I will take this over the stream that I was on the other night 1,000 times over.
Why?
Oh, holy hell in a handbasket.
Tell me.
It was, and I was not informed of this topic, of this line of thinking until I got on there. Pedophilia, a rational perspective.
Who was hosting that clusterfuck?
Oh, I will tell you in the side chat because I am not announcing that. I don't care if we only have one viewer. I'm not
You're
gonna
fine.
put this person on blast like that.
You're fine. Mad Dog talk.
Pedophilia? What the fuck? Kill them all.
Well, that was kind of my solution, to which the person hosting it said, but what about the people who know that it's wrong and they're seeking treatment and blah 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 blah. I was like, chemical castration.
The chemical castration doesn't work.
Well, yeah.
Rehabilitation does not
I'm
work for pedophiles. You need everyone to know that. It doesn't work.
I'm a supporter of the
Legitimate
touch
castration?
Ridley, I will shoot you in the head. Fuck off. No
But-
nap on that one.
I just kept reiterating that it was wrong and like disgusting, and I don't care if they know that it's wrong. It's still wrong. It's still gross. And
Is this person
just-
in favor of pedophilia?
No, this person is not in favor of pedophilia. This person is a psychologically damaged individual who,
Aren't we all?
but
Oh, fucking Ned.
I know, but this person, does believe that it's a mental illness and is looking at it from the bias of, well, if they have a mental illness and everyone hates them, then I have a mental illness, so does everyone hate me? And like, trying to it was just very biased, and I pointed that out a couple different times and they didn't understand what I meant. And
The best thing to do for pedophiles is take all the animals out of animal testing and put
But all the
pedophiles.
pedophiles?
Yeah, and test on pedophiles. Fuck it.
No,
Animal-
test it on the people on death row.
Animals have a purpose. Pedophiles do not.
People on death row don't have purpose either. They give up their life. We have plenty of them on display using that as medical science.
It depends on the situation.
They're on death row. They're going to die. So why not just give them like some science, something on sciencey to make them suffer?
Well, I'm for the death penalty, so.
Well, I am too. Bring back the rope. 20 people a day. Clear up faster.
I really do think
Holler.
we should make a TV show out of it. I legitimately think we should make a TV show out of it.
Out of what? Killing pedophiles?
Yeah, out of killing, you know, death
Yeah.
row inmates, pedophiles, rapists, that sort of thing. Yeah, we should make a TV show out of it.
On
Is that
this
I would
episode
tune
of
in every
Who
week
Shall
for that.
Die, will it be the rapist, the death row person, or would it be the pedophile?
Is that sarcasm, Buttercup?
No, I really legitimately would watch them kill the worst our society has to offer every week. And just come up with new ways. Like, I want to see them put 1,000 small, shallow cuts on a person and then shove them into a bucket of bleach. Well, not a bucket, but like a pool of bleach.
Cut them up and throw them in a pool of salt.
Yeah. You know? I mean, I would watch. I really would. I have problems, okay?
Don't we all?
If I was still in the military, I'd be like, yeah, I'll watch that too. But since I'm out, I prefer my Disney movies.
I would watch. That's all I'm saying. Right. I mean, you know, I'm twisted. I can't. I'm sorry. No, actually, I'm
Kink
not.
shaming here, my love.
Huh?
No kink shaming here.
Oh, good.
But I'm pretty sure someone will have a fetish watching all that stuff.
Oh, well, cool. We can solve two purposes. Get rid of the worst our society has to offer and, you know, feed someone's fetish at the same time, I guess.
MC! Now this is going to get interesting.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, hey MC,
Yes.
what's up?
No, I
Buttercup.
can't hear you.
You gotta understand,
Hey.
if you're gonna
Good
hold
Lord,
something like
dude.
that, you've got to start with gladiatorial style games where people can make bets and stuff on the winners. And then you can sit up there and have a whole group of like a little how do I say this? Like
Well, I figure we can do it like American Idol.
no, it has to be like
Gladiator.
Roman
no, not
gladiators.
like Gladiator either. What's the name of what I'm thinking of? March Madness, where you set up a tournament,
A bracket?
right? Where you start brackets as you go through. You know, and at certain points you can have team events. All right, where you can get rid of you know, if it starts off too large, you have to start off with the team events until you get it down to the point where you can do individual matches.
All right, MC, we're talking about redneck shit.
Oh, not anymore.
Well, I'm trying to get back to that point.
Now we're talking about killing people on TV.
Down.
Well, I thought this kind of fit in with redneck stuff. You're going to tell me that this doesn't fit with the thing?
Kill
I mean-
them all.
It's not necessarily kill them all. You give them a choice. You can either go into the gladiatorial games, or you can serve out your time in the mines, where you're digging subway tunnels from one end of the country to the other. We'll have one of the best underground networks in the world.
But it will not be upkept like everything else.
It would
I
not be
still think
what?
upkept like everything else in the country.
Well, sure it would be. All right, and if you do it with prisoners, it's even better because you have a group of prisoners that's always walking on the treadmills, providing the power to drive the air through.
That's some
And if
Black
you
Mirror shit.
and if you have a prison riot, it's real easy. You just turn off the air, right, and get another set of prisoners.
I still like the animal, testing.
Dude, you sound like Gold Dukat on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
You haven't heard my rock idea.
You're a dick.
MC, have we ever actually interacted?
A little bit, not much.
Okay.
MC doesn't interact. He just fucking talks and talks and talks. That's what MC
No, he just
I'm
argued
sure he's-
the Civil War with me for like 5 hours. So here we
You
go.
bring that shit up every fucking time.
I'm sure he's nothing compared to Call of Duty Thoughts.
I can talk quite a bit, and obviously, if we're looking at it from this standpoint, you got to come up with creative ideas on how to handle some of these things. For example, from a military perspective, how do you take the strategic or the tactical ground? You look around, you find the high ground. Well, what's the high ground in society?
Actually, not only the high ground, also look for the crappiest area to go through.
Well, if
Not
we
the
take the high
easiest.
ground,
Hey,
Just
Moondog.
the crappiest.
Moondog, you're getting a lot of feedback on your mic.
in this case, you can go out into space, and you say we need to save the planet, right? So we want to do mining of our heavy metals rather than do it on the planet and all the pollution that entails. We're just going to grab heavy metal asteroids from the asteroid belt and bring them into near Earth orbit and plan it that way. We'll just mine there, and then you bring them in. You bring in about 3 or 4, right? You start to park them in orbit, and you let one accidentally slip into the Sea of Japan at about Mach 10 or 20. That takes out the U.S.'s #1 economic competitor and #1 military threat in one shot. And yeah, you gotta.
Wait, MC, shouldn't we just hit Iran with that?
Well, no. You got to establish things first. See, because you throw it in there, and then when it hits, you go, "Oh, I'm sorry." And if people complain, you go, "Do you want a rock?" And you just put it like it's a real simple solution to things.
Hey, you guys want to hear something I just found?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
babe.
It's called Dueling Banjos Meets Metal.
Is that Chris Worthy playing the drums? I'm just
My nickname at T-Mobile was Pump My Joe.
All right, I think I should probably stop doing that now. But
Buttercup, are you even a fan of Country Girl?
no. Well,
no.
I'm from the Midwest. I'm from a state in the Midwest.
Kansas.
I think we established that.
No, not Kansas.
Missouri.
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
St.
I'm from
Louis,
Missouri.
yeah, St. Louis.
St. Louis.
The great
Yeah,
state
you
of
can tell because I
Missouri.
don't have an accent.
Yeah,
MC, you like country music?
I actually do like country music.
All right, who's your favorite country artist? Dead or alive?
Dead or
I
alive?
like the dead ones.
Well, I tend to like some of the dead ones as well. I like Johnny Cash, but that goes back a ways.
That was a really
wait,
bad
wait.
joke. I'm
The
sorry.
more recent ones that I find tolerable are Waylon Jennings and and Garth Brooks at times. His earlier stuff was much better than the latter stuff, to be honest.
Toby Keith, man. Toby Keith.
Toby Keith, okay, but I wouldn't. He has his moment. I mean, I like a couple of his, some of his songs, but there's a limit to how much I can take from him.
I'm pretty much into like outlaw country, like Hank the Third and Rebel Son and David Allan Coe.
I got some of David Allan Coe's stuff.
Racist.
I guess.
Have you heard half of this shit? All right, I'm just saying. I like it. I'm just saying, wow, he gets out there.
Well, you could say that about any artist if you really wanted to.
And I listen to hip hop.
Dude,
I was just gonna
hating
ask
me.
your opinion on
Give me a
that.
break.
I do.
Nigger hating me. Give me a break.
Upchurch the Redneck is my favorite hip hop artist, and he's a good friend of mine.
My personal opinion, I hate country music with a passion.
Moccasin Creek. Moccasin Creek, the Lax, and over in California they got
I actually don't like
oh man. What? Why not? I'll leave with that. Why not?
Oh, what was that one song that was just the worst song I've ever heard my whole life? It was technically categorized as hip hop, and it was just the worst thing I've ever heard. See, I can't remember.
I don't know how to present music on here, or I would.
So what you'll have to do is you'll have to go find the video or whatever, and then you'll screen share yourself, and if you're using headphones, unplug your headphones so we can hear it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I turned screen share onto your window, I believe.
All right, let me see.
Well, I try to remember what this awful, awful, awful song was that I heard. It's just the worst. Just the worst.
Are you talking about Yellow Wolf?
I don't
No,
think
the
so.
Lax. No, she's talking about the Lax.
What?
The Lax, right?
I don't remember.
Damn, I thought you were a redhead, not blonde.
People have bad days. Let her go, man.
I've been okay. I work in a restaurant. I'm a host, and I have been dealing with the dumbest dregs of humanity all day long. I actually had a person today.
And so you wanted to lower the bar, so you came out here, right?
I had a person today. I was going to seat them at a table, and they looked at me. They go, "Well, why can't we sit there?" And I looked at them. I went, "It's not clean." The fuck?
You should have just been like, "Cause I said so, bitch."
I wish I could. Bitch, because that's where I'm putting you. Now sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, eat your food, and if you don't like it, leave.
You should have looked
I
at
am
the-
totally not going to your restaurant.
Oh, you wanted a table by the bathroom. My mistake.
Can we have a table by the window? Fuck you, no.
What window? This restaurant has no window.
Right? They all want windows, and they all want they want to sit there for 2 hours and stare at the fucking parking lot and the highway beyond it. Motherfucker, it's a parking lot and a highway. You're not missing anything. Oh, I'm sorry. And there's a train track that goes by, and sometimes a train goes down it. Oh my god.
We had a train that went through the small town that I grew up in late at night every night, and some of the kids from the high school decided they wanted to go play hobo and jump it. and ride it. So that became a big thing for about a month and a half until one time one of the girls slipped and fell underneath it and had her foot cut.
Ooh.
So
That's
she
all
lived
fun
and
and games
everything,
if someone gets their foot chopped off.
so it wasn't the entire foot; it was pretty much just the toes. But yeah, that kind of ended that. So the things you do when you're young.
Yeah.
The one thing I did when I was young was play a bunch of Halo.
Oh, I remember. I remember the song now. The one I was trying to remember. It's by some group called Homegrown. I think. It's literally just titled Yee Yee. It's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I thought you said it was the Lax, though. That's not fair.
What?
Oh, I thought the horrible song was by the Lax.
No, I never said that.
Oh, my bad.
No. This is just
Yee,
awful.
huh? I'll have to look
Yee
it up.
Yee. Yes, it's awful.
Well, there's a lot of awful music out there.
I will play. I'm not going to screen share, but I will just play some of the audio for you guys when she's done there. It's repugnant. It really is. I like words.
I don't know if I've heard this song or not.
I can't hear it.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to play it too long or you'll end up getting a strike, probably.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really playing it if we can't hear it.
That's true. That's a good point.
Also, you are aware that redneck, the title of this stream, is spelled incorrectly, right?
Oh, I did that on purpose. Well, one,
Oh.
because and two, because fuck it. Is there a way for I could turn up her volume? Because I screen shared her shit. Does she have to turn it up, or do I?
So she's still listening to it with her headphones on, I'm thinking. So she,
Well, Shock, do you have your headphones on? Sometimes it's hard for it to cross it. It depends on what the speakers are like.
We can all go look it up if we're really that curious, I suppose.
I'm not that curious.
Okay, I'm gonna play this a snippet of this song, and it really is just the worst thing I've ever heard. So,
keep it homegrown. Say what I want, say what I think. Drive this truck cause I ain't got a tank.
I rock my Days Dukes, my boots, and I slay, yo.
Say what I want, say what I think. Drive this truck cause I ain't got a tank.
I rock my Days Dukes, my boots, and I slay, yo.
Smoke all day and drink all night when I can talk all night.
it's just the worst thing I've ever heard. I can't with it.
So here's a question for you. How did you find this?
So actually I have a YouTube channel. This exists to thank for that. They were talking about they had a video called "Is Hip Hop Racist?" And it kind of like took me down the path of hip hop music, and that was one of the ones that I came across, and oh, I am so both glad and sorry that I did. It is what your redneck friend sounds like when they try to rap. And they're tone deaf.
Rap while drunk.
I love it. Hmm.
Depends on what hip hop you're talking about, though, because Moccasin Creek, there's a few other ones that I actually like. They're pretty good.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Well, I grew up with Ice Cube, Tupac. I live on the West Coast. I mean, the gangster rap. So, I mean, they're pretty good.
yeah.
Moonshine Bandits. That's the guys in California. Moonshine Bandits. They're pretty fucking good, too.
See, it's fine if you're good, but what we just listened to,
Was garbage. I never even heard of them before. Yeah.
and it doesn't get any better from there, by the way. I have actually listened to the whole thing. Does not get any better. It was like a train wreck or like a car accident, you know. You're like you don't really want to look at it, but you can't really look away. I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, those things can happen.
Yeah.
I've,
wow.
I think that's one of the things that YouTube has done is there's so much more music that's available now. The problem is there's some good stuff, but there's a lot more bad stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you
That
got to
is
kind of
true.
sift through it all. And in certain regards, one of the things that this does is people always have a, you know, when people do band members, they get a sound, they get a I don't know, I don't want to say genre, but you know, they get a persona, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I always hated in the old days is after a while that persona tends to get old, right? So you don't care to listen to it anymore. And the bands that can't at least change up a little bit, you know, Nickelback comes to mind, all right, just as an example. I think the problem with YouTube though is because it's so easily accessible, right? I don't think people will see the need to change like they used to when they had to, you know, the better bands and such. I mean, it's still new enough as a phenomenon, you don't see it, I think, but I'm wondering if it'll go down that direction.
Well, some bands don't need to change. Bands like Kiss, they can play their same stuff for 50 years from now and still be good.
But Kiss's songs have a much wider range. I mean, if you want to look at them, just take a look at, you know, Lick It Up versus Beth, for example. See my point?
Deuces, Dynasty, from their debut album Kiss to Dynasty to Shades album to Psycho Circus.
Right.
I mean, it's all good.
Well, like I said though, but you see major differences in the. They're not stuck in a specific style. Yes, they have a style that's their normal style, but they also are broad enough that they can extend out from that. That's why I mentioned the song Beth. So, I mean, there's other. Go ahead.
Do you think that the modern rappers can switch their style up and evolve, or is gangster rap a dying breed?
True gangster rap is a dying breed.
Hey, Mad, stop presenting Wolf.
Now I think it's MC.
No.
It's showing always out front on my screen.
Not on mine. On mine, you still have Wolf presented.
I'm still seeing Wolf Shot.
Yeah.
And we all see Wolf Shot.
Yeah, so you're going to have to stop presenting her. I mean, unless you really enjoy looking at her avatar. Then, you know, do what you want.
Then people who join
There
the
you
stream
go.
will see multiple voices
Is
of
that better?
Wolfshot.
Yes, it is better.
There you go, I think.
Wolfshot, I know you said this, but I've kind of forgotten. Did you design your own avatar?
I think Wolf is dead. Just
Can't hear you, Wolf. If you've lost your audio, she's probably trying to fiddle with her audio, trying to figure out how that works. I know that it's kind of difficult between some of the different programs to capture audio and then play it.
she's actually dead. I'm making a coat out of her right now.
Do you
I've
eat
actually-
people? Like, is that your thing, or do you just make clothing?
I wear them like an Egger suit. It's fine.
Puts the
So you
lotion
don't
on the
eat
skin.
them.
No, I donate their bodies to local pig farms. You know, their innards after I sew them up, and
She's pulling an egg in on this.
At least she's not using endangered species like whales.
exactly.
I mean,
You
one
know,
of the things.
there's 7 billion of us on this planet. I can skin a couple people. It's fine. I'm actually totally kidding. I don't skin people.
Of course not.
I thought you were a libertarian. I'm losing my faith slowly, Buttercup.
Hey, maybe they were consenting and I'm not hurting anyone.
That's fair. I will get behind you on that.
You know, I mean, there are actually people out there who want to be eaten.
Oh, there's one big case in Germany for that.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on tour? You ever go on the dark web? Yeah, you can find lots of those creepos.
There's entire fetish sites. I think they're called Vor, where it's literally
Snuff
just
porn.
people. It's literally just people like putting stuff in their mouth. But yeah, no, I mean, there's a whole weird culture surrounding the eating of people willingly.
Well, I know there was
So-
a case in Germany that Moondog here just was saying that, and if I'm not mistaken, the trial was about one of the guys that I guess he'd eaten other people before, and this was just like a different guy who decided halfway through that he didn't want to be eaten.
He really
Well-
shouldn't have entered into that contract then. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, well, it's a little too late for that one guy because half his body was actually chopped up and halfway eaten. He actually down with that guy to eat his own penis.
Oh God! How did we get back on this subject? I thought I had killed it when I talked about the.
What the
Coliseum.
shit? All right.
I'm sorry. Every stream I come on is cancer.
Well,
I turn it into cancer. It's my fault.
On my channel, I do not condone people eating other people's penises. I just want to make that clear.
Keep it advertiser friendly. I get it.
Okay.
You know, the sad part is that he actually has to mention that. You know, you would think that would be obvious, but
Hey,
Well,
I'm not saying
I
condone
am all
it
about
either.
freedom. I mean, come on.
I'm not saying I condone it either necessarily, but I mean, whatever gets your rocks off, I guess, as long as you're not, as long as it's, between two consenting adults and no one is,
I'm not.
Being
I
chopped
don't
to
think I'm a
pieces
fan of cannibalism for any reason, to be honest.
As long
Or
as they're
chomping.
a contract.
Yeah.
Well,
The
does that mean we're gonna
chomping's not
go?
gonna work for me.
We're gonna go down the Soylent Green route. Is that the deal? You wait till they die and then you toss them
People.
into the wood chipper and then turn them into crackers.
Nummy. It's a bit salty. Fucking hell.
Must have
I
been a
have,
liberal.
I have red-headed children, and I believe they have a soul. But you are making me
You'd be
doubt
wrong.
that, Miss Buttercup. Like, God damn it.
Well, if she's a redhead, they don't have souls anyway. Gingers don't have souls, right?
Can you hear me?
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
Now
I'm
we
talking
can. Holy crap.
about. I have your children. Like, this is it.
Do you need me to turn down my mic?
Want to run
I-
away?
I should tell you,
Outta
I'm
here.
also not a ginger. Naturally. I mean, there was the potential for me to turn into a ginger, but I turned into a blonde instead.
Ah. Yeah, we can hear you, Wolfshot. You should be good now.
Thank God.
Well, you missed the whole vor thing.
Worse.
What's your take on that?
Furries love that shit. I am not into that shit. No judging. No judging.
You're not judging. I think that we definitely needed to have that clarified for some reason.
Furries,
I
mean, I get it. They're
They've
real
judged
things. Like, these
I
fucking
feel
idiots.
judged.
You feel judged.
I feel judged.
Why?
I feel persecuted for my desire to sew up humans and turn them into beautiful clothing.
Um,
It reminds me of that one song.
Can I give you your number to the FBI? You can just call it up and they'll help you out.
I'm kidding.
What is that song Buffalo Bill sings? Goodbye, horses.
Back in ancient times, I should say in history, there was something that was done by some of the Indian sects when they captured enemy troops or high-ranking nobles. They would basically fillet their skin off of them, trying to keep the skin as much as intact as possible. They would then sew up all the holes that were made and then blow them up and use them as party balloons while they had like celebratory feasts for the victory.
I kind of love that.
They would bring them, right as they were riding back, they would have them streaming from their lances and such as they came into town. But that's what humanity has been like. The idea that people were being skinned and used as lampshade by the Nazis, which was true, right? But it wasn't a recent experiment by human beings. They had been doing that for years.
Yeah, I kind of love that. That imagery. That makes me happy.
All that kink.
Yeah, you really like those memes that they're putting out, huh, Buttercup?
That tickles my nipples.
Oh my. Toughened your nipples, didn't it, Clary?
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Oh, fuck me hard.
I'm cancer.
Put some lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again. God damn
Yes.
it.
I mean, you can't argue with that fucking logic.
Well, that was actually done too much earlier in history. In fact, it's part of the lore of the Aztecs, where
Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry. No disrespect, by the way.
oh, I feel so abused.
No
But
disrespect.
you like it.
She probably has a point.
Isn't this where if I was an SAW, I would scream obscenities and blame everything on you guys and then hang up?
Yes.
Well, yeah, no, it's a matriarchy, right? Like, the women control the world, god damn it. I'm married. My wife controls everything. It's a bunch of bullshit. She's standing over my shoulder right now. If I say something wrong, she'll slap me in the head.
I just made the most old person noise I've ever made in my entire life.
I'm joking about all of that, by the way. But anyway, that's the same type of point with the patriarchy.
You must have walked out of the room.
Nobody is controlling anybody. To be her little dominatrix and do whatever the fuck she wants.
I'm going to dip out, people. I'll see
What
you
did I
everybody
miss?
later.
Wolfshot can do whatever she wants. Like, we have free.
I missed something.
Yeah, I heard my name. I don't know what the fuck you said.
Well, I just said that you're able to marry and do whatever you want as well. The patriarchy and the matriarchy is a bunch of bullshit, is my point. It was nothing personal with you, Wolfshot. Really. It was just a point.
What was the point? I missed it. I'm not trying to be funny.
Damn it.
Don't worry, we all kind of missed it. We're all waiting for an explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Well, the point is the matriarchy and the patriarchy are a bunch of bullshit. We're all equal already, right?
Well, I would say that that's more or less well established for the most part. Obviously, there's when you talk about equality in a society, there is always those who feel that the society doesn't let them do whatever they want, because being into a society means you have certain things imposed on you.
Well, it's equal under the law, though, right? So women and men are equal under the law, basically, is my point. In America.
Yeah.
From a theoretical standpoint, yeah.
Well, there is no feminist argument left. They've won. It's equality. Game over. Congratulations, Lacey White. You won.
How high are you right now, Mad Dog? Because I'm not following you.
I'm pretty not too high. I can load another bowl though if you'd like.
Go for it.
Actually, yeah, do it.
I don't give a shit. Do it. But I'm not following what you're saying.
I'm not sure what his reasoning is. I'm not sure why we went down that path.
Equality.
It's not that. It's all of us. I think you kind of preaching to the choir a little bit. Yeah, well, I think we all agree with that for the most part.
Well, then change it up, MC. You got a different topic? Do something.
Do I have a different topic?
Yeah, it's about time for you to get a topic.
Let me think here for a topic.
Just to piss off Mad Dog.
Just to piss off Mad Dog?
I can feel it. I can feel it in my non-binary genitals right now.
Man, does that mean we're going with the Civil War? Because I don't want to argue with him over that. We've done that in like 5 or 6.
You and the Civil War. There's more to argue about, I promise.
MC and me in the Civil War. It's been like 5 streams. We're good. Let's move on from that.
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up, sir.
Well, you're saying something to piss me off. I'm sure that's the first thing he'll go to.
Well, let's go. Let's talk about hunting whales. How's that?
What about it?
Hunting what?
Whales.
What about it?
Hunting whales, hunting dolphins, hunting seals.
Okay, what about it?
Good, bad, and indifferent.
I would like to try the meat of all 3 of those things.
If you're not fucking doing it till extinction, I don't give a shit. As
Well-
long as it's regulated, like deer season, I don't give a shit.
Well, how can you regulate
What
it?
would the season for like whales be? Would it be like a
It'd
specific?
be right now.
like-
Right now in Oregon, the whales are going right past.
Hopefully not when the
right now
female.
would be whale season.
Hopefully when the orca or the whales aren't calving.
Well, how long? What's the gestation period of a whale? I mean, for them to begin to be on their own.
Fuck if I know.
I
I don't
think it's
hunt
been-
whale.
There. Really, if you want to talk about whale hunting, man, Japan is still hunting whales. They do it for recreation. Sure. So if you want to talk about whale hunting, it's
Well,
still
they
going on right
they
now.
actually do. They do actually do hunt whales, and then it's a delicacy in Japan.
Yeah.
And they
Um,
make ambergris.
another group that hunts whales is the Russians, and they actually hunt whales for an entire different reason. They use the meat and the blubber to feed minks on their mink farms.
But yeah, my point would be normal white people nowadays, we don't need whale oil. We don't need their fat for nothing. It's usually the native populations that are doing this. So I don't care. Legalize it for everybody. Fuck it.
I still would like to try the meat out of every one of those animals. That's my only opinion. I just want to eat them.
So you're pretty much a
Well-
carnivore, is what you're saying.
Well, then legalizing it would help you eat them.
I would keep it regulated. Like you get so many tags to hunt a whale, and that's about it.
I don't want to pay the king's ransom to hunt the king's deer, Wolfshot. I don't want to do it for anything. I don't want to.
All right, first of all, it has to be limited to some extent. I agree with Woolshot. It does need to be, because you're not talking about something that's easily
Hunted.
well, could be replenished. All right.
Yeah.
Like for example, I know people don't want to hear this, but the reality is we could breed deer, all right, on farms and let them loose.
Yep. And
Right?
we do.
So the idea that we're ever going to run out of deer meat or deer in the United States is just nonsensical. All right. But you can't do that with a whale. I mean,
But sometimes that populace of deer gets out of hand.
oh yeah, no, and you got to extend the season, and then you got to lower that. But there does have to be some sort of management to it. I'm just
That's what I
pointing out.
mean.
Okay, well, like Oregon and Idaho, right? They decided the wolf population was too low, so they imported wolves from Alaska and other states into Idaho and Oregon. Now they are overpopulated, and the ranchers are killing them. Don't you think the same thing would happen to a killer whale? I mean, if you overpopulate the population, there's going to be a clash.
Orcas are not on the endangered species list. Orcas are probably. Sometimes I wonder if orcas are the smartest creatures on the planet, because they figured out
Well,
early
that's
that.
fair, but do you have an answer for my other points? I mean, you could laugh at me for one point, but I had a couple others.
No. But the thing is the other whales. How is their population ever going to get out of control? Their breeding seasons are long. All right, their gestation periods I think are pretty long. So I don't see a massive explosion in the whale populations that can take place in any kind of short period of time. Unlike deer, unlike other mammals, land mammals, right? So, could it happen? And when we take a look at a carnivore like the killer whales, yeah, that's probably true. And I guess all whales carnivores to an extent. I mean, krill is what a lot of the baleen whales eat, which is technically an animal. But I mean, how do you judge all this? I think one of the biggest problems about when you talk about whale hunting is the fact that we just don't know how many whales are out there. We don't have the kind of technology, all right, to determine populations to a really large extent. What we do is we say, okay, how many did we count this year at this time in this area? But whether or not that's really representative of where the whales are at that point in time is somewhat problematic. The ocean's pretty large. I mean, you got to remember, 70% of the Earth is covered by water, so there's a lot of room to hide.
But my point would be, if we can't tame a wolf, which we can, kind of, dogs and so forth, but the wolf population... No, don't laugh. The wolf population went from almost non-existent in Oregon and Idaho to the point where they're hunting down sheep or killing them at will. So you don't think that's going to happen to any other endangered population? Give me a fucking break.
Oh no, there'll be certain endangered populations that go totally extinct. That will happen.
There will be certain populations that grow to the extreme and take over, kind of like the plants, like
humans,
sagebrush.
Yeah, like humans.
And others.
Yeah, like fucking humans. Let's start there.
Ooh, let's hunt humans.
No,
I
I'm
don't support a Hunger Games. I'm not okay with that.
We're back to the Coliseum again.
Yeah.
We're just involving other people.
Yes, I can bring things around full circle again.
Yeah,
I'm
we
still a
have
libertarian standing here saying freedom, please. Anybody?
I hate it when you,
invited you.
I hate it when you
humans.
guys make that argument. I really do. Because
What?
it's so unfounded. It's so
No,
unfounded.
what do you mean it's unfounded? It's unfounded because I don't want regulation on what I do or
Your
say.
your
It's
definition
unfounded
of
'cause
freedom
I don't
sure
wanna
as
think
shit
what
isn't
I'm thinking.
mine.
Wait, so you won't condone my hunting of people? What if I get them to agree that they're all right with it first?
Who are you talking to?
Do you have a contract?
Yes, I'll get a contract from them.
Then I'm good with it. Fuck
Okay.
it.
It's like Running Man.
I know. I was about to say that's like Running Man.
Hey, if
It's
you
like
have
the
a fucking
Purge.
contract,
Is the Purge okay too?
no, there's no
But
contract.
why not? Why not?
Because,
Contract.
because the non-aggression principle. That's why the fuck not.
Why not? There's a
You know,
The
contract.
non-aggression
I have-
principle.
They sign a contract for the
I have
Purge.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
I have no problem
Oh.
with your philosophy with this one exception. All right, this is a world
Who are you
governed by the
speaking to?
aggressive.
No,
I'm
they-
talking to Mad Dog.
No,
This is a world run by the aggressive use of force. Okay, you're never going to get away. Oh, really? You show me an area where that does not exist.
Oh, I've triggered the conversation now, haven't I?
Cunt.
I'm sorry.
I thought this was the goal to piss him off. We found a way, right? I'm sorry, Mad Dog.
I was kidding. I was fucking kidding.
Yeah, I mean, he is the host, and we're setting a goal to make him angry.
He'll just kick us all and get new people on.
I was kidding.
Now I'm talking theoretically, but but I do believe that this is a world that is dominated by the aggressive use of force, and I think that has to be recognized when we're coming back with solutions to some of these issues that we exist with it, because I don't think you can ignore it. I mean, one of the things that I said on an earlier stream was with the Britisher, right? Was okay. What you have going on recently was in the Central Park, you had people interrupting that play, right?
Yeah.
And people were upset that it's the You know, it's the right that quote unquote right that's doing it now to the left, right? An Armored Skeptic even did a video on it, right? Saying this is not how you have a discussion, and this is not how democracy works, and this is not supporting freedom of speech, blah blah blah. And to
I
be
have no
honest,
idea what you're talking about. But I heard democracy, and we're a republic, not a fucking democracy.
well, no, I understand now. I'm talking about the Armored Skeptics video on the protesters at the Central Park showing of Julius Caesar.
I didn't watch Armored
Oh, okay.
Skeptics video.
My bad. I apologize.
No, that's fine. I was just trying to fill you in because I know that sometimes we have problems, and obviously I do too with some of the audio and hearing things. But his point was basically that we can't act like the left does, and so forth. Well, first of all, there's two things I have to say. One, Armored Skeptic can kiss my balls. All right. He's a Canadian who's going to tell us what it means and what it takes to defend freedom of speech. Hey, pal, you've got massive problems with freedom of speech in Canada. All right. At least our Supreme Court, as right and left as it did, had an 8-0 decision saying no, hate speech is protected speech.
Yeah, we can't go to prison for a fucking meme, at least.
So, to come back and say that, look, you Canuck, go back and take care of your own problem. The second thing is, where were you 10 years ago? Where were you 5 years ago? Where were you 15 years ago? Where were you 20 years ago? When the left was making this a mainstay of how they protested? Whenever anybody from the conservative side or when anybody from the right said anything, these were the tactics that they were using. It isn't something new for the left to go in and storm a meeting, all right, or to a guy who's trying to speak at a lecture. Now, the riots in Berkeley had taken it to a new extent. Okay, I mean that was more than we had seen in a long time. All right, but the idea that people would jump in and try and interrupt someone speaking, let's be honest, interrupting a speech, especially a political speech, is a kind of a time-honored tradition in the United States. I mean, it goes back to the founding of the country.
I mean, I'll have to disagree with you on the right wing not, acting violently. I mean, the last time that happened, Timothy McVeigh blew up an entire federal fucking building. How many people died?
I'm not really.
You are roboting like a motherfucker,
but
dude.
No.
Timothy McVeigh, you called him right wing, right? Why would you call him right wing? I'm just out of curiosity. What's your definition?
Because he admitted to being a right wing conservative white nationalist. Not a Nazi. Not a Nazi.
He did not say that he was a Nazi, and he admitted to being an anti-government guy. I don't know about right wing.
You just have excuses for all them motherfuckers, dude.
No. I'm just going by belief. I mean,
it's so funny. It's always the left's fault.
No, I did not.
It's always the Democrats' fault when the right has had their fair fucking share. I'm telling you.
Well, you say that it's their fair share, right? But you ignore how many bombings that took place on college campuses in the 60s.
I remember the National Guard going after Kent State.
The National Guard was called out, and then the Kent State students started throwing rocks and got shot.
Oh, those pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Rocks. Those cocksuckers.
There's a lot of debate actually what happened in Kent State.
I don't ascribe to it. I don't know a lot about it. All I know is that innocent people were killed for bullshit.
Well, you had a situation where the National Guard was called out. Why the National Guard was called out? Did the National Guard need to be called out? Hard to say. All right.
Hey, MC, are you biased? Sounds like you're biased.
As far as what?
As far as right wing versus left wing.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, as long as you admit it.
But that's because of the history that I grew up in. All right. And what you're saying about when you say right wing, if you're going to talk about, and you include, for example, the KKK being right wing, you're exactly right. There were very violent things that happened at that time frame. But my experience, right, starts in the 60s, through the 60s, through the 70s, through the 80s, and obviously the 90s, and so on. All right. So these are my memories. And this is why I bring this up. Because when you're taking a look at the situation as it exists now, for example, Timothy McVeigh and his bombing. Now, he was an anti-government zealot. All right. I don't know if he was a white supremacist. He may have been. I didn't see anything on that. One of the things that I didn't like about.
I assure you, he was.
I don't doubt you. All right. One of the things I didn't like about the situation is he had accomplices.
He did, and they got let go, and that was bullshit.
And I totally agree with you.
Like Terry Nichols. Terry Nichols is sitting there fucking with his dumbass, goofy grin with his glasses, sitting at his house. Motherfucker. He should have been killed right along with him. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Fuck it.
I didn't realize you were so hardcore against people trying to defend themselves.
From what? What was Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols defending themselves against? A race war?
Well, no. I mean, Timothy McVeigh was he was an anti-government zealot, and he was trying to create the new civil war in the country. Yeah. He was trying to kick it off. All right.
Blacks against whites.
I don't think that that might be possible, but to attack the the FBI building, as far as I know, he hadn't attacked anything along racial lines. And I'm not saying he couldn't have or didn't. All right.
His Bible have you ever read the Turner Diaries?
No, I have not.
Yeah, that's his Bible. It's basically a white supremacist propaganda that basically it was the same kind of premise. Get a truck, blow up a federal building. Because niggers.
Oh, is that what it says?
I mean, you can read it online. I don't know if it's banned, but I certainly have read it.
I haven't read the Turner Diaries.
Yeah,
I've read a lot of other things, but I have not read that.
Yeah, I'd like to know how Terry Nichols was defending himself because of all that, fertilizer and, blasting caps and C4 in a shed. Please let me know how he was defending himself besides helping Timothy McVeigh.
His defense, right, which is in my opinion bullshit, was he would say things about this, but he never actually thought that he would ever go through with it. That was his excuse. Now,
how many pounds of fertilizer did they find in that shed?
What was it? That half a ton, I think. Yeah. Wasn't that what it was? Something like half a ton.
And numerous blasting caps and tannerite, etc.
Which was kind of foolish because if you're going to use that kind of stuff, this shows you the redneck quality of them, because if they had done what they had done in the 60s, right? In the 60s, what they did was purchase all the fertilizer and then fill the top with diesel and then flip it over, right, to allow the diesel to start to mix at an unequal ratio, which would then create a thermal explosion.
But regardless, I need to know how he was defending himself.
Well, like I said, that's what he said. I think it was bullshit too. I don't disagree with you.
I know, but you said that I think he should have died right beside him.
No, he should have been
Timothy.
taken out. He should have been convicted. I don't understand why the FBI let him go.
Because he went to trial against Timothy McVeigh, and so he got immunity.
Okay.
I know, isn't that a lot of fun? All them fucking people.
Well, you would think that people would be smart enough to convict Timothy McVeigh just on the evidence without any needing the testimony of Terry Nichols.
Well, they needed cooperation from Timothy McVeigh to show exactly how they were planning it, where they got the fertilizer, where they got the tannerite, because some of it was in Terry Nichols' name, some of it was in Timothy McVeigh's name, and stolen cars too, I believe, was a part of it as well. I can't exactly remember. Serial killer, mass murder shit is kind of my thing. I'm a freak.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm a freak. What do you expect? Like, ask me anything about Charles Manson, and I'll probably be able to tell you.
Well, what do you know about the Sudanese Liberation Front?
Say it one more time.
The Sudanese Liberation Front.
That's a new one.
That was the group that had kidnapped Patty Hearst.
The bitch in jail?
No, no. Patty Hearst was obviously the heiress of the one of the heiresses for the Hearst Foundation, or not foundation, but fortune. Right. The Hearsts became well known and became extremely wealthy for the newspapers. They started off as newspapers. All right, and it was Randolph Hearst, who basically was able to, through Yellow journalism and the number of papers that he owned, to get us involved in the Spanish-American War by overplaying the depraved nature of the Spanish crown in the Mediterranean, in their Mediterranean colonies of Puerto Rico and Cuba. And of course, Patty Hearst then became a target. She was then kidnapped, and then for a few months, people were looking for her, and then she showed up on a film, right, helping the Sudanese Liberation Front basically rob a bank. And this went through the whole thing of she was brainwashed, and that's why she did it. And they made a stupid movie out of it, to be honest.
Cults are always fun.
Well, this wasn't so much of a cult per se, but I mean, these guys were hardcore leftists that just like the SDNC.
Are they all leftist, MC?
At that time, you got to remember, the 1970s, you did not have radical right-wing people on campuses blowing shit up. I mean, it goes back to the 1967 Democratic National Convention. Have you heard about that?
Continue.
Okay, where the protesters on college campuses basically got together and took over the Democratic National Convention in 1960. I think it was 67. Was it 60? I think 68. I'm sorry, 68. And I think it was in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. And then for a few hours, they basically tried to do a sit-in / die-in, or however you want to talk about it now, before they were physically removed and had, for what was in Chicago, a small little riot. It wasn't very large, but it did do some damage to the convention center, et cetera. Right, and unfortunately for the Democrats who were running against Nixon at the time, this was all caught on national television. And so,
was Watergate the Democrats too?
No, Watergate was people within the Nixon administration who went out of their way to bug the Democrats, the Democrat National Committee, in the quote-unquote Watergate Hotel, all right, where they were having some of their meetings. They did a shit job with it, all right. And during the investigation, Nixon tried to stop many of the investigations that were going on once he found out that his people were directly involved. And so he attempted to tell the Attorney General not to investigate the crime. In fact, he tried to fire them. Now, this is also, interestingly enough, coming off of the replacement of Spiro Agnew, who was his vice president. And Spiro Agnew had just been removed for tax evasion and was forced to resign.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on, but I need to go to bed.
I'm sorry I bored everybody out.
No, it's just I've been up since 6 o'clock, and again, dealing with the lowest dregs of humanity really puts a damper on your energy levels. So I'm gonna bounce. I was kind of falling asleep there.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Buttercup, for being on here. I appreciate it, and I hope to have you back.
Yeah, anytime. Send me the link. If I can make it on, I will hop in and bring your stream some cancer, because it's what I do.
I'll try to just participate in the cancer rather than get into a...
I know a fucking history lesson.
Talk about history and why I am the way I am. So, I mean, if you want to learn about a lot of stuff, I mean, there's a lot of things that were going on, and of course, the Nixon administration basically leads to, obviously Gerald Ford taking over. He pardons Nixon, all right, which was actually an interesting move on his part, but also ensured that when he was running for election, he was never going to win, which then gets you Jimmy Carter and the election of Jimmy Carter.
Can I stop you there and ask you to please close the history book that's in front of you?
Okay, history book's closed.
Okay, now I'm going to bed.
Night, Buttercup.
Good night.
All right, let's talk about something a little bit more interesting. Sorry, MC.
No, that's fine.
What's that, Wolfshot? What do you got?
I don't fucking know, but damn.
Do you fish? Bullshot?
Oh yeah, I fish and I hunt.
Well, do you fish salt or saltwater or freshwater?
Saltwater.
Saltwater?
Mm-hmm.
What do you normally go after?
Puppy drum, red drum, striper, sea bass, marlin if I can arrange it, tuna, etc.
Have you caught a tuna on a line before?
No, I have caught a marlin though. That was a lot of fun.
I didn't realize that marlins were off the coast of Virginia, or were you down south further?
North Carolina. You get out at the Outer Banks and you basically drive for about 5 hours.
Well, so you're way out in the deep area, huh?
Oh yeah, but that's only like once a blue moon.
Well, is that off the continental shelf? I mean, are you far enough out that you're off the continental shelf, or are you at the shelf, or what? I mean, I know nothing about marlin.
It depends. Usually we're off the shelf, to my knowledge. I really don't give a shit as long as the captain knows what he's doing, because it sure as shit ain't my boat.
Do they let you keep the marlin, or?
No. No.
So they don't let you keep it and put it on your wall or mount it or anything?
I mean, I'm sure some places do, but the boats I've been on have not.
So you just don't get tags to just keep what you catch like we do over here? Because there's nothing like that. We get tags for whatever, and then we can go catch it.
We get citations if we catch, like my father, he caught a 450-pound marlin, and he got a plaque for it because it was the biggest catch that he ever got. But we didn't keep it or anything.
Did you release it, or did the boat get to keep it and then sell it?
Oh no, we released it. He released it off the line.
Okay. I mean, our marlin. I know marlins are tend to be what they call sport fish, but I don't know if people eat them.
I'm sure they do in some places, but I've never eaten marlin. No.
How dangerous is it to get that thing in the boat?
It takes. You sit in the fighting chair, and it could take between an hour, 2 hours, depending.
So you're basically playing with the fish for 2 hours.
Pretty much. And you're strapped to a chair and you're trying not it feels like your arms are going to be ripped off.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why I say if it lives in the ocean, it can stay in the ocean.
I mean, that's why I don't take it out of the ocean. It's like sharks. We've caught mako sharks. That sucked.
Oh yeah? How big?
Not very big. Not like, but they were enough to where I don't want to put my hand in its mouth.
Well, I can understand that. I mean, I've gone salt sea fishing one time, and that was when I was in the military and stationed at Fort Devens, which is in Massachusetts. So we went on a boat out of Boston, basically just catching halibut. But we did catch, of course, some people caught what they call dogfish, which are a type of shark. Although, I mean, they're fairly small for a shark, but they're still 3 foot, 3-quarter, 4 foot or so. So, and I didn't want to get my hands near any of them either. So I don't blame you. But I'm not a big fisherman. I mean, I used to fish when I was younger in lakes and streams and stuff and rivers. And I've caught my share of trout and of course catfish. I can't tell you how many bluegill I caught.
We would go down to North Carolina and fish the Albemarle Sound, which is brackish. So we would get some huge blue cats and catfish and big wide-mouthed bass and stuff. So that was fun.
I only caught a bass one time, believe it or not. Of all the fish different types of fish I caught, I mean, carp is everywhere. The largest fish I caught was a carp. But bass, I've only caught one, well, I guess two bass. And they were barely legal for if we wanted to take them home. We released both of them because they were still pretty small. Normally, when we caught fish, though, we would, kill them and cook them up.
I hate catfish, personally.
Really? I'm not a real fan of it.
Good. That's good eating. But no, guys, I think we're going to get off here. And I hope to do another stream soon. MC, you always end up here. So hope to talk to you again soon.
Okay, I'll try not to
make it so Wolf Shot. I like history, so it's not boring with me.
Well, if we're going to have a history thing, we'd probably have to do with some more specific topic. So I apologize for that.
No, you're fine.
All right,
you guys take care.
Bye-bye, Wolf Shot. Bye-bye.
Good night. Yep, bye.